You can introduce yourself if you want to, and then start at the beginning, what year it was, and how you got into veganism, and then what happened. Okay?
Sure. So my name is Robert. I'm 28 years old. I'm from the Netherlands. And basically, it all started around 2011. Uh, I wasn't fully vegan yet at that year, but I was already, I already stopped using dairy and stuff like that. And basically, I was only eating chicken. Um, So I removed dairy from my diet and I was eating chicken still with vegetables and starches, all those things. And I was also pretty active. I lifted weights at the gym and I also, had a couple of runs here and there and I cycled a lot and I was doing fine. Like I could do whatever I wanted to do and I had no sleeping issues. Basically, life was good. And for some reason, I thought like, hey, I want to improve myself even more. So let's go on Google and YouTube and see if I can, find new ways to do that. So that's when I came across veganism, and yeah, I thought it was cool. You know, you're saving the planet and you're not killing animals, stuff like that. So yeah, then I saw, what was it? Gary Yurovsky, you know, you probably know that guy.
Mm.
Yeah, and I watched his speech on YouTube, and that for me was basically the turning point. So um, yeah, so I saw the footage of cows being slaughtered and stuff like that. Like I think they cherry pick those videos just to just to make sure that you go vegan, you know, if you're watching it. So I went vegan. So the next day I cleaned up my fridge and stuff like that. No more animal products. And I guess the first year I was doing fine, you know, no big issues. But I already started to lose weight and muscle. So I can remember me and a couple of friends of mine, we were going to the spa. And in the Netherlands, it's quite usual that you go nude, so fully naked. And I can remember one of my mates uh, telling me like, hey, where's your ass? Like, it sounds quite funny. But I always, in the gym, I always did some glute exercises. So it was strange to hear that, like, hey, where's your ass? Like, yeah. And then came, or like a few months later, I got a new job, which was a pretty tough job. I had to clean staircases. There were no elevators, so we had to carry our stuff up to the top floor and then start cleaning from there. It was quite tough. So you need the energy to do that and the strength, stuff like that. And I just started to lose it. So, um, and I lost my energy to go to the gym. So I quit going to the gym and I tried to, yeah, stick to the veganism, but it was getting really tough. But I was still brainwashed, you know. I thought like this is the way to go. I just need to, um, I just need to educate myself even more, you know. I was probably doing it wrong, you know. Yeah. And then came the third year, and that was a pretty tough one. Like, actually, my parents, they started to worry about me. Like, dude, you're losing weight, you're losing your strength, and they got mad at me basically. So yeah, our relationship wasn't as good, but yeah, I managed to keep pushing forward. I just didn't blame it on the veganism that I was basically wasting away. I thought like it was my sleep or something. Like it must be something else, you know. I'm eating the diet that we are being designed to eat, you know. And yeah, I lost more strength, and I'm a quite tall guy. I lost a lot of weight, and I basically became underweight. And that's when my parents really, really started to worry about me like crazy. So uh, they told me things like, well, if you come over to our house, you're not going to eat that vegan crap shit. Yeah. Um, but for some reason, I still couldn't see it. I was still brainwashed, and I kept on watching videos on YouTube like Unnatural Vegan, Bananiac, Dr. McDougall, of course, like, yeah,
What did you eat
all
as a
those names.
vegan? What was your
Um,
diet approximately?
a lot of rice, a lot of grains. Yeah, basically a lot of grains. Like I tried to do the 80-10-10 ratio, and um, I was aware of the phytic acid, the anti-nutrients. So what I did was I soaked my grains overnight, and I thought that it was working, but after a few weeks, I noticed like, hey, things are not changing. And I also ate a lot of beans, lentils, chickpeas. Basically, I tried to get more protein into my diet because I thought that that will help me with my energy levels. And I tried to keep the fats as low as possible. But looking back at it right now, I think that was the dumbest idea ever. Yeah, we need the fats. We need them. So I was also taking some protein powders. They did help a little bit, but still, I was just going to the toilets like a zillion times a day, um, peeing a lot. So my body was just not tolerating those foods. I still kept on losing weight, and even though I was working out at the gym, there were no gains. And that was quite frustrating because the people around me at the gym, they were making improvements, but here I was, the guy eating only plants and stuff like that, trying to show the world that it is the way to live your life, but yet I was the one just wasting away. And
Did
yeah,
you eat low fat the whole 4 years then?
almost, almost, yeah, because I actually found it quite hard to find plants that were high in fat, like avocados of avocados. We all know those.
Right, the problem is that plants only have oils, not actual fat, which is saturated fat, so it hardly helps anyway.
Yeah.
It helps somewhat, but not much.
I tried to get in like some avocados and nuts and seeds, but yeah, I was just getting hungry like so quickly after consuming those. And then another problem is that nuts and seeds, they are high in phytic acid, so I try to soak them as well, and try to get my minerals that way. But it wasn't working, so I tried so many things on the vegan diet, and nothing really worked. And next, I want to talk about fruits and vegetables. I took so many of them, and the vegetables, I would always have them raw or steamed because I try to conserve the good things in it. And the fruits, oh my God, so many cavities. Like my teeth, it's like, it got so many holes, so many cavities. And I even had to get a root canal surgery, which exactly one day after I had the surgery, I was on YouTube and I saw this video like, don't get root canal surgery, it's bad for you. And I was like, oh, fuck. So, and I hear like so many ex-vegans, they talk about their teeth and the cavities and stuff like that. So, and I also got into distilled waters, but since my body was already in a pretty bad state, like adrenal fatigue and stuff like that, so that's when your kidneys actually fail to keep up the pH balance in the body, and then you decide to drink distilled water, which is already acidic by itself. So your body has to work even harder to try to keep up the pH balance. And it was just a pure mess. Like I got heart palpitations like crazy, and I think that it just drains me so much, like the potassium, all those minerals. And oh my God, what have I done?
Did you use supplements also?
Yeah, quite a lot of them. Like I started with a vegan multivitamin, but only after a few months, I discovered that the ratios are really out of balance. Like you get like an insane amount of vitamin A, and then you just get almost little to nothing potassium or zinc and stuff like that. And I also took magnesium citrate, I think it was, like this one. I got probiotics. I got organically active vitamin B12, bioavailable. Yeah, bioavailable, that's what it is. And I got vitamin D3. Like I had it all. But then I went to my physician and did some blood work, and it was like nothing but deficiencies all the way. And I was like, how could that be possible? I'm soaking my nuts and seeds and my grains, so there should be little to no phytic acid or anti-nutrients whatsoever. And I'm taking these supplements, but still I have deficiencies. Like, yeah,
Did you know that there's no vitamin A in plants?
oh, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't aware of that. And I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I wasn't aware of that.
Okay.
So, and what else? There was something else that I took, maca powder. And this is a really interesting one because I pretty much lost my libido on the vegan diet. Like like this is interesting. Like I see so many vegans doing nofap. So they decide to quit porn, masturbation, and ejaculation altogether. And they say that they feel better, but I think they're doing that as a last resort. Like they're not getting the results they wanted on the vegan diet. So they escape to nofap, which is what I did. And it was only after 2 weeks that I noticed a little bit of increase in my libido. So that's when I decided, like, hey, I'm taking some maca powder, but maca powder is a heavily goitrogenic food ingredient, so you need to cook it first. And I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that, so I took it and I felt just absolutely worse, like really bad. But it did raise my libido a little bit. But that stuff is like, it smells like shit. So yeah, I took maca powder and um, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Mm. So what is it
And
made you quit veganism in the end? What was the tipping point?
yeah, so I wanted to get back to my old um, fitness routine, like being an athlete. So before I went into veganism, I could run 50K without any problems. I could cycle 150K in one day without any issues. And as the years went by as a vegan, like it was just so frustrating that I couldn't even cycle 40 kilometers anymore. I couldn't go for a run anymore. Like even 2 kilometers was just exhausting for me.
Mm.
And um, and then I saw Kasumi Chris on YouTube. Like we both went vegan around the same time. And then like Kasumi Chris, she is always real about everything in her life. Like she doesn't hide anything at all. So she shows it all. And I thought that she was doing pretty well up until the video that she posted in which she explains like why she quit veganism, And for me, that was the turning point. Like, oh my God, like if Kasumi Chris, who is doing everything right, cannot sustain on a vegan diet, then probably the same thing counts for me. So I decided to go to the grocery store and just get some steak. Boy, oh boy, did I loved it. I loved it so much. And I started to feel better almost instantly. And my sleep improved because I had insomnia big time. I could lay in bed for 3 hours and still not fall asleep. And I took plenty of bananas and other kinds of plant foods that are high in tryptophan, they say, but nothing was working. So yeah, and peer pressure, of course, like my parents, they would always try to turn me back to eating meat again. Yeah, and then also my friends, they called me crazy, like the vegan nut, piss lord, whatsoever. Yeah,
Piss
my best
Lord?
friends,
Why Piss Lord?
yeah, because I also tried urine therapy for 3 weeks and
Okay.
it's just freaking disgusting. Yeah, and yeah, that was another mistake, you know. I think it's because the deterioration of the brain as you're going vegan, like you're not getting enough fats to sustain functionality of your brain. So yeah, I just went crazy. But yeah, and then also my best friends, they were basically there the whole time. They were there to support me, but even they were telling me like, dude, you're just wasting away. Like we miss those times like a few years ago when we were able to cycle together or go for a run together. But right now, every time we ask you, if you can join us, you're saying things like, no, I'm too weak, I can't do this. And yeah, so I lost a couple of friends as well because they were like, wow, you're such a crazy hypochondriac fool right now. Like, you're not the same anymore as you was a few years ago. Like, you were all energetic and always happy. And right now you're sad and depressed and you don't have any energy whatsoever. Like you only just had to take a look at my face and my eyes and you can see the bags underneath my eyes. My skin was also really, it looked like I was like a 40-year-old guy, but I'm only 28. Yeah. And I do know that vegans actually age faster. They tend to age faster than meat eaters because when I was hanging out with my friends, then some outsiders would always think that I was the oldest one, but my friends, they're older than me. So it's, yeah. One of them actually thought that I was the father of one of my friends. Like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
Crazy. So I'm so glad that I got out of this madness. Yeah. So, so yeah, I got my libido back. I got my mood back, my energy back. Actually, today I went for a 5K run and I did it in 25 minutes, which for me is a new record. And right now I'm running even faster than I was before I went vegan. So that's crazy. And I just started running a few weeks ago. So this is really telling me, this is really cool. Yeah.
How do you see the future of veganism? Where is it heading?
I think it's going to explode like crazy. Like here in the Netherlands, there's even advertising alongside the road. Like maybe you have seen this one. It's like plants are the new cows and stuff like that. And it's just vegan propaganda everywhere, even in grocery stores. Like there's in many grocery stores, there is this vegan section and it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, I think it's going to explode, but I hope that it's not too late to turn the tide. Yeah, because in those 4 years, it was pretty interesting to see that one vegan after another was collapsing. Bigger names like Tim Chief, for example. And it's just a matter of time before the others also collapse, I think. Yeah.
Do you regret going vegan now when you look back at it, or how do you see it?
Yeah, totally. Like 4 years is just down the drain, just wasted. And yeah, basically, I forgot to say this, but I lost my job thanks to me not having enough energy anymore to sustain myself. I lost my job, I lost my income, and I also, I was in a relationship, but we broke up, and I was just such a big piece of sadness. Yeah. And I totally regret it. And I was always interested in like living a healthy lifestyle and going to the gym, like getting stronger, building some muscle. Now, I'm a heart gainer and I cycle a lot, so I will never be like big and stuff. But it was just so frustrating to see myself wasting away. And sometimes I think about like, where could I have been if I didn't went vegan? And I think that I would be at such. I would have been in a better. I would have been in a better position for sure. Yeah, than I am right now. I think I might have some chronic health conditions right now. I sometimes have heart palpitations, and I actually had to go to the hospital a few months ago. And I got to the cardiologist because I had the heart palpitations, and we did a couple of scans and some blood work. And then the result was that I had some irregular heartbeat, but they couldn't find a real cause or whatsoever. So I blamed it on the sleep. Like I wasn't sleeping right, but I wasn't sleeping right because of the plant shit that I was eating. And it's just a vicious circle that was just continuing day after day after day. But it's interesting now that I eat meat again, I feel so much better. And I actually was able to get myself off of the medicine. So right now I'm completely medicine free. And yeah, that's totally awesome. I feel like I'm getting my life back week by week. And the fact that I was able to do a 5K run today and beat my own personal record, yeah, that's a good sign, totally. I also started swimming again. I'm swimming 3 times a week and I'm improving like crazy. Like, and it's also funny that one of my friends, we went for a swim together, and she has seen me as a vegan, so my body was kind of like, the skinny fat body type. I was like that, and right now it's like there's no skinny fat anymore. So we went swimming, and she actually commented on me like, wow, dude, you're actually looking pretty good now.
Nice.
Yeah, totally awesome. So yeah,
Is there anything special you would like to say to any vegans who are watching? Maybe something you learned?
always listen to your body. Like, if you go vegan, like if for whatever reason you are completely convinced that you should be vegan, please, please, please don't close the door behind you and listen to your body, Like I was completely ignoring the signals my body was giving me. And yeah, it just wasted me away completely. Like it's going to take a long way. It's going to take a long time to recover. Yeah. So I'm starting to get convinced that maybe we aren't designed at all to only. Yeah. So yeah. But
Anything else you would like to add?
So yeah, a few weeks ago I started to drink raw milk. Like I just have to cycle a few kilometers to the next village and I can get some raw milk. And there's something special about it. Like, yeah, there's something special about it. I haven't been consuming milk in over 6 years. And then when I took my first sip of raw milk, it is something special. And then I also started to consume organ meats. And yet again, I feel very fortunate that I only have to take my bike for a couple of kilometers to visit my local butcher. It's of a very decent quality, so I can get my meats right there. And it just makes me feel amazing. It is such a difference. So people actually don't recognize me anymore. Like, if yeah, compared to how I was as a vegan, and right now I'm just I feel like I'm alive, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, basically that's my message towards anyone who is looking into veganism or someone who is a vegan and is struggling, just yeah, be careful, be very careful,
All right.
and maybe consider quitting veganism.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah, it's been a pleasure.